Good morning, traders. So, how do we trade the Dow Jones today? So, before we get cracking, you'll notice a slight change to the chart. Ichimoku is off, and I have a pretty simple Bollinger Band, which is the green, and a 5 moving average, which is this blue color. Okay, rest of the chart stays the same. We've got the oscillators, two stochastics that are grouped, and we have the MACD. So, and the reason for it, pretty simple, teach you something new for one. And number two is that in this kind of upward and downward motion, sideways, confused, whatever you want to call it, barbed wire. I mean, there's so many names you can come up with this nonsense that we're going through at the moment. It's very difficult for a long-term trend strategy like the ichimoku to pick up on your entries and exits. So often by the time your entry's been picked up, you almost stopped out for break even, pretty much. Okay, so and you'll see how this strategy works out. I'll show you. So right now, this was an exhaustion bar as we expected. Well, not expected, as we anticipated. And it was confirmed, and this week has been followed through on it. Now the big question is, are we going to come down some more, or are we going to go return to the upside? Now, there is a massive area here, and it's not so much a single level, but more a case of a zone. Okay, so around about, just want to find, that's probably there. Okay, so this zone here, you can see how the buyers stepped in here, then they try to sell out of this zone, and then they try to buy in this zone again. So there's obviously, this is an area where the bulls and the bears see as make or break. So let's just get down to the daily and just start looking what we have here. So you can see the congestion that we have in this area, and you can probably extend it down to the bottom here as well. Okay, so this is kind of like a make or break area for the Dow. Now, we have had 8 losing days in a row, and you'll have to go back quite far on the chart before you start seeing where that happened last. Okay, so that inside is new, uncharted territory for the Dow at the moment. So there's a lot happening with that. Trying to pick up these levels is probably being a little bit of a daunting task, because you pick them up, but they don't play out. Okay, so let's just get to lower time frames, because there's nothing we can see on the daily. Firstly, before we look at what's happening today, let's have a look at the moving average crossover strategy here. You can see we had a crossover here, and price stays above the 20, which is this green, and keeps going until they have another crossover there. The trend was up, and then when they had the crossover, trend had changed, and now your trend is down, and you trade to the downside. Okay, so it's quite a simple strategy, and obviously you want to use a Bollinger Band with it as well. So you'll see here was a Bollinger W or a double bottom. We closed outside the Bollinger Band, closed inside the Bollinger Band with an inside bar, and then we broke that level, which validated the W, and up we went. All right. So, and it's same with wedges and things like that. Pretty much a wedge is also a W bottom or an M top from a Bollinger perspective. Right, so what do we have here? We have some Bollinger diversions. So you can see how we closed outside the Bollinger Band, and we sort of closed inside the Bollinger Bands here. So that is diversions. We've got MACD diversions brewing. So there is potential here for something to happen in the line of a reversal. And I'm going to take it with a huge pinch of salt, because we may just pull to the top and continue to the downside. But we are in this zone, okay, and this zone is not an area that I want to be short, to be honest. I'd rather take my shorts higher up. Okay, so this was a key entry for short level. This retested the 4-hour EMA. I missed it completely, which was quite annoying, but that's how trading goes, and I suppose how we learn and put those failures into your toolbox and learn from them. So on the hour, we have, there's pretty much nothing going on the hour. Okay, so we have had a grouping at the close last night. We did have a grouping, and we did have some buyers step in, but this could have just been profit taking, more than likely profit taking for those that were short. And we have trended slightly to the upside. Nothing major at this moment in time, but there is a 3 green bars on the hours, quite substantial if you look to the left. Okay, so I'm kind of still in two minds of whether I want to be in this or not. I did get in last night, and I'll use this level here. So pretty much got in at this level right down here, which we move to the left, you'll see was a Brooks gap there. Okay, so there's a tail there, and that was a level that I got in on the trade. So it's done nothing. We are in profit ever so slightly, but it hasn't really moved with much vigor. I'll stay in on this trade, and we'll take it. We'll see what happens. I just want to get down to the 12 minutes. Okay, so you can see where my entry was here, and we kind of rallied a bit and then fell off and come back. So I will stay on this trade for now, because there is potential for a move to the upside, and that move to the upside may be short-lived. I mean, basically, we may just come back to test this break here, or alternatively, we may just test that break. Okay, but as I said, this is a massive zone of resistance, so I don't want to be short here. The only other option that I have is to be long, and this is where we want to put the long in. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm seeing, and also the other thing that's happened here is that this channel is broken. Okay, so you've got a channel together with Bollinger Bands diversions here. Okay, and we have broken to the upside. Okay, so we may see another retest of these levels again, and then move to the upside. We may just go sideways as well for the rest of today, or the bulls may step in. And I just can't see the bulls stepping in on a Friday, so I don't hold much out for that. If I just look at the international markets at the moment, everything's pretty much just hovering. Nothing standing out at the moment. Everything's just hovering. I suppose it's just the Nikkei that's down 1%, but that's followed through from the DAX and the Dow and the S&P yesterday. But anyway, so that's my take on Wall Street today. Is I'll be looking for any kind of bullish action here. If we do come back and test any of the breakouts on the hour, so in other words, testing this level, and we start moving to the downside, I will then consider shorts. Ideally, I'd like to see a test up here somewhere. We can see a test up there and then start moving to the downside. That would get me short again. But for now, looking for the longs at this level, and we'll see what happens. Anyway, guys, I hope that helps, and I'll catch up with you guys later. Enjoy the rest of the day. Cheers, man.